The train is our next invention. The invention of the train and railroads truly changed the way Americans traveled. Many passengers could travel at one time, and traveling was much faster. England first used the train, and the idea was brought to America. Around the 1830s, railroads were starting to be built all around the country. There were very little negative things when using the train. The train helped people travel all across America. It would take 7 hours to get from Richmond, Virginia to New York using a train. The train was a fast way to travel. In our picture, we have what the first early railways look like. That really looks like it's just used to carry some cargo. And then over time, we had luxury trains where people actually can spend the night, eat meals on them. And this was the first early American train. In the Brain Pop video, Tim and Moby will take you through the progression of trains over time. The important thing to remember is that trains help people travel across America in a cheap, fast way. Just like the steamboat and the train, the automobile used steam to move. So this is a picture of a steam car that was the beginning of the invention of the actual car. Can you imagine driving around in that, powered by steam? This automobile came around in 1886. This was the first gas-powered automobile. Does that look very safe for driving down the street? What things do you notice that are different? This was the first car that was considered in production. The automobile was first invented in Germany and France in the late 1800s. It's crazy to think that today we have cars that use gasoline and we have electric cars. The automobile came to America. The automobile became popular during the 1900s. Henry Ford was able to make many cars in factories. This allowed people more access to buy cars. So Henry Ford in 1908 began producing affordable, simple, and reliable cars anyone could drive. This is called the Ford Model T. Do you notice how it's missing windows? There's also no side view mirrors. The car had a long way to go from where it is today. This is the 1912 version of the Model T car. So you see here we have a roof that can go up and down. We do have a horn. We've got a windshield, but we still have no mirrors to be able to see. There's lights on the front of the car. Let's see what happens over a few more years. In 1914, they added on the touring car. As you can see, now we could fit 5 people in a car. Here's this 5-person car in 1915, and you can see this roof that can be on or go down. We still have no windows on the side of the road. Imagine if you ran over a rock and it went in the air. Aren't you glad for the safety measures we have today? Here's the Ford Model T car in the 1920s. As you can see, we've added a little bit more features. We have a door, we have some windows. The roof is completely closed in. We have a step stool to get up here, and sometimes it would have a bar here, and that's where people would put their luggage because there wasn't any space in the car to put your luggage. The price of this car during the 1920s started at $675. Then the price dropped into the 500s. Can you imagine buying a car for that price? This car was so popular that it was made on an assembly line in a factory. It provided a lot of jobs for Americans. Here is the 1925 Ford Model T car. As you can see, we've had a lot of improvements. We've got mirrors now where we can see. We have thicker tires. Looks like the seats are more comfortable. In 1927, they stopped producing the Model T car because there was so much competition and the invention of cars and prices started to rise. So the Model T stopped being produced in 1927, and then we had a lot more choices for vehicles at that time. I hope you enjoyed looking at some of the Model T cars and learning about the railroad. Watch the videos so that you can learn more about these transportation innovations.